Hi, welcome to the video Spring MVC Form Handling with me Namaming from CodeJava.net. Throughout this video tutorial, you will learn how to develop a Spring MVC project that handles a form submission from the user. Exactly, you will learn to develop a Spring MVC application that presents this form to the user registration with different kinds of input fields such as text box, password field, drop-down list, checkbox, radio buttons, text area, and after the user enters the information into the form and click the rest button to submit the form, the server will read the information in the form and print out the information back to the user in a page like this. Before following this tutorial, make sure that you have the following software programs installed on the computer: Java Development Kit JDK, Eclipse IDE, and Apache Tomcat server. I strongly recommend to you to use the latest versions of these software programs. And we use Maven as the build system for the project. And we use Spring Framework with Spring MVC to develop a Spring web application. And to handle form submission, we use Spring Form Tags with JSP and HTML. And here are the steps which we need to follow. First, create a Maven project from the archetype Spring MVC archetype, and then we create a model class to present the information in the form, and we update the home page to link to the registration page, and code the handler methods to present the form to the user and to handle form submission. And we code the registration form using Spring Form Tags. And finally, we code the message page that displays the information to the user. This is Eclipse IDE. You can see I'm using Eclipse version 2019 September here. Now let's create our Spring MVC project from the menu File, New, Maven project. Click Next. And to quickly create a Spring MVC project, we click the Add Archetype button here and enter the archetype group ID is co.entire archetype. Artifact ID is Spring-MVC-archetype. The version is 1.0.2, and leave the repository URL empty and click OK. And then click Next. And here we specify information for our project. Artifact ID is Spring MVC Form Example version 1.0. Package code net.codejava.spring and click Finish. And we have our Spring MVC project. What created here very quickly, right? Because we use Maven archetype to generate the project. You can see it generated the configuration for a Spring MVC project. Here you can see First, we need to change the Java version from 1.6 because the archetype Spring MVC is quite old. So we need to update. Right click here and properties and change the execution environment. I'm using JDK 11, so I choose Java SE 11 here. Apply and close. And open the Maven's project file, form.html. Here you can see the versions of Java Spring are quite old, so we need to update. Here I update to use Java 11, and the Spring Framework version is 5.2.3 release. From Spring 5 we don't have to use CZ lib anymore, so delete this. And you can see the dependencies information for Spring Framework, Spring Web MVC, Spring ORM, Spring Test. We don't need Spring Test, so delete. CZ lib, delete. For Servlet API, we should use the latest version of Servlet API, which is okay. Let me update the version. Latest version of Servlet API is 3.0.1, and latest version of JSP API. We update the artifact ID of JSP API is Java x.servlet.jsp-api, and version is 2.3.3. Okay, let's save the form.html file. And under the Maven dependencies, here you can see the jar files got updated to the latest versions. Oh, we got an error here in the Maven form.html file. The artifact ID here should be java x.servlet-api. Save the file. Okay, the error is gone. We got a faceted project problem. So right click on the project properties, choose project faces here, and here we update the dynamic web module version to 4.0 and Java version to 11. Click apply and close, and we have Maven problem. Project configuration is not up to date, so right click on the project, Maven here, update project. Okay, we got another error, so we need to open the web app directory. Here you can see the web.html file is generated here, and we need to change the version to 4.0 for the web deployment descriptor file. We also change the file name here to 4.0. Save the file. And right click on the project properties, and let's see the project faces. Okay. Now update the project. Okay. Okay, the errors are gone, and we through Java problems, the Thai web MVC configurer adapter is deprecated. Double click, and in the generated MVC configuration class, we have this class web MVC configurer adapter is uh, deprecated, no longer used in a Spring version 5. So we need to have this configuration class implement the interface web MVC configurer instead. Okay, you can see in this MVC configuration file, it configures the view resolver for our Spring web MVC. The view files we placed in the web.inf directory views, and the suffix is .jsp, and it also configures a resource handler to handle static resources like CSS files, JavaScript files. Okay, so that's for the project configuration. You can see using a Maven archetype, Spring MVC archetype, it generated code for us. All the Spring MVC configuration is done, so we can focus on coding the logic. You can see the home controller is generated here with handler method test and review the view with name home, and in the views directory you can see the home.jsp page not created here with a hello world. This is the home page. So that's for the creation and configuration of the project. Now we can test this project on the server to make sure that all the configuration is good. Right click on server here, add or and remove, and choose Spring MVC Form example project to add here. Finish. Here, and we have the project deploy on Tomcat server here, and start the server. Okay, no problem. The server is up and running, and you can see Spring Framework Web MVC Spring Dispatcher is initialized here. You can see Spring Dispatcher, and you can see the server is listening on the port number 80 here. Now we can test our Spring MVC application in a browser. You see my Chrome browser, and enter the URL localhost. Since my Tomcat running on port 80, so I don't specify the port number here. Now the context part of the application is Spring MVC Form example. And you can see the message hello world. This is the home page. That is exactly the content of the home.jsp file here. So far so good, right? In this project we will create a form that looks like this. This form allows the user to register information. So now let's create a Java module class to represent the information of this form: full name, email, password, birthday, profession, married, gender, and not marriage status. So in Eclipse, here create a new Java class, and here I change the package name to net.codejava.spring.model, and the class name is user to represent the user information in the form. And here we specify the fields, instant fields of the user. First is name. Copy this, and then is email, password. The next field is date, birth date, and next field is profession, gender, male or female. Not actual information about the user, and marriage status, married or not married. Okay. And generate getters and setters for this domain model class. Source generate getters and setters here, and select all the fields to generate getter and setters, and click generate. Okay, here we have all the getter and setter for all the fields. Reformat the code. Format. Okay, it looks better now. So far we created the project, create module class, and now let's update the home page to link to the registration page. You can see the home.jsp page here. You see this was generated by Maven archetype, Spring MVC archetype, and now we update this page. Heading is Spring MVC Form Example, and here we change to a hyperlink using the A tag. Go to registration form, and the hyperlink is objective URL register. Okay. And in the home controller, Spring MVC controller class, we need to write a handler method to handle this objective URL register. So we create another handler method here using the request mapping annotation. Request mapping annotation with the derivative URL is /register, and the HTTP method is HTTP method HTTP method is a request method. Get public chain view registration form. Import a request method. Okay, and in this handler method we return the view name. Now we return the view name is registration. So in the views directory we need to create a JSP paste with the name registration to map with the view name here. So I click here, new JSP file, and enter the file name is registration.jsp. And next, use HTML5 and finish. Okay, and change the page title here to user registration. The heading of the page, user registration. Okay, and now we can test. Refresh the home page. We have a hyperlink, and go to registration form here and click, and you can see as the heading of the registration page, user registration. So far so good, right? Now let's understand how to code form handling with Spring MVC. You see we have the model class here that represents the information on the form. You can see the class user with fields, name, email, password, and so on. And this is a view. This is a view. The JSP page we use Spring form tags, and you can see here we use the form input, form password, form is Spring form tags, and note that the action of the form should match the request mapping value here. And note that important in form handling with Spring MVC is a model attribute here. Specifies the name of the model attribute user, and this name user should match the name user in the handler method in the controller. In the controller class here we use annotation model attribute user here to map with the model attribute user in the view. And this is a class of the model class user here. And in the view we must match the name of the input from input fields name match the property name in the model class, email, password, and so on. So that's basically how to code form handling with Spring MVC in the controller class, in the view. Now let's code the view registration form here. We use a div for a section. Move the heading to the div and align center for the div. And to use Spring Form tag, we need to declare the tag lib and directive here in the head of the page. Okay. Tag lib prefix is form and URI is http spring framework.org/tag/ form. So you see, to use a string form, we need to declare this tag directive in the head of the JSP page, as you can see here. Now let's write code for the form. We use a form tag here and specify the action, which is relative URL is the, and method is http post, and important here is model attribute. Specify the name of the model attribute. Okay. And we use a form label to display a label in the form. But match the name, which is field name in the model class. Full name. As you can see, and you can see in, the look and feel of the form. We have the fields full name, email, password, birthday, profession, marriage, and note, different kinds of form fields. Save the file, and now we can test in Chrome browser. We refresh, you can see we got an error here. At line 17, and you can see here, because in the line 17 we use the attribute name, but in the model we don't have any object with the name user, so we need to update the controller class in the view registration form. Here we declare parameter type model to access the model, and declare a new user object here, user equal new user, import, and we add the user object to the model, add attribute user object. Okay. Wait for the server to reload the changes, and now we can refresh, and you can see the error is near gone. And now let's update the view registration here. We should move the form inside the div section. Yeah. Okay. And next to the label is a text field. So we use a Spring tag form input path point to the name of the model attribute. You see, and we have break line here. Save and refresh the form in browser, and you can see it shows the label full name and the text field here. And similarly, we do the same for other fields. So we can copy and paste these two lines. The next field is for email. Email. And the third field is for password. And for the password field, we use a Spring form tag form password. And let's refresh the form in the browser. And you see we have three fields here: full name, email, and password. You can see the labels and the fields are not well aligned, so we need to use CSS style sheet to format the form. So in this view page registration, in the head section here, we specify a style section for CSS style, and for the label element we specify the attribute display is inline block, and the width is about 200 pixels, and margin is 5 pixels on all directions, and text alignment is on the left. Okay, and refresh, and you see it looks better, right? And the next field in the form is for birth date of the user. So we use a form label to show a label. Path is birth date, and the label is birthday. In the default date format is year, for number of year, 2 numbers of month, and 2 numbers of day. And then we use a form input. Path is birth date, and you see birth date should match as a field name. Birth date in the model class here. And then the next fields are profession, gender, node, marriage status, married. Okay, and break line, and the next field is for the profession, form label, profession, label. Let's refresh, and you can see we have the next field birthday profession here. And as per the user interface design, you can see the profession is a drop down list, a select element. So we need to in the form we need to use Spring form tag, form select, path point to the profession field, and items we specify a collection that contains the items for the drop down list. Here we use a name profession list. Okay, so in the server side, in the controller class here, in this method, we need to create a list of profession here. List change profession list equal. We use some fixed, values arrays as list. The first profession is developer. The second is designer. The third is architect. Okay. And then we add this list to the model. Add attribute. Name is profession list, and value is object profession list. Okay. And now wait for the server to reload the changes and refresh the form. Okay, refresh the form. And now you can see the drop down list profession gets displayed with three options: developer, designer, and architect. Very good, right? And if you view the source of the page, views page source here, you can see the HTML code generated here, and select and option here. You see. And we need to update the CSS style to make the drop down list and the text field well aligned. Yeah, we specify style attribute for the input type text and input type equal password and select element all have the width is 200 pixel. Okay, and refresh. I will see it looks better, right? Now we add the submit button for the form. At the end of the form here, we use a Spring form tag form button, and the caption of the button is register. That's it. Save and refresh, and you see the register button here. We need to have a break line here. Refresh. You see the register button here, and we also specify the style attribute for this button in the CSS section here for the button element. Button. You copy the Maven attribute here and specify the padding 10 pixel for all directions, and let's refresh, and you see it looks better, right? Click the register button. We submit the form. When we see we got an error message HTTP status file method not allowed, because in the controller class we haven't created any handler method to handle the post request. So now in the controller class we call the handler method for the HTTP post. As you can see in this picture, in the controller class here, we call the handler method to registration with HTTP method is post, and the model attribute map to the name of the model attribute in the view. Okay, so here public string do registration, and we use annotation request mapping. Value is relative URL register, and method is request method for the HTTP post method. You see, note that in this control class we have you can see we have two handler methods that handle the same URL. You can see here same URL /register but with different method, HTTP method. You can see the first one is for get and the second one is for post. You see, and here in this method parameter we use a model attribute annotation and specify the name is user, and then the type of the model class and the variable name user. And this method will return the view name, which is registration success. And in the body of the method we just print the content of the user object. The Spring will automatically read the values of the form fields in the HTML format, create a new model object and set the values for the model objects views. Okay, and in the model class we generate a toString method that prints the values of all the fields. So I click source generate toString here and generate toString for all the fields here. Generate, and you can see the toString method here. Okay, and wait for the server to reload the changes. Okay, and now we test our Spring MVC Form example application again from the home page. Go to registration form, and this is a registration form, and here we enter the information: full name, Nam, Minh, email, Nam, @codejava.net, password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, birthday 1984, January 20, profession developer. Okay, now click the register button, and we got the error attv stated for not found because we haven't created the view file registration success.jsp. And in the server console view, you can see it prints the information of the user name, Nam, Minh, password, email. Oh, sorry, this should be password, email. Oh, let me see. Sorry, we have name, email, password, birthday, profession here. Also, my password was ignore. Name, email, password. Okay, no problem. Let's check the source code of the page. Let's try again. Full name, Tommy @gmail.com, password, Tommy, birthday 1956, 0102, profession designer, register. You can see it prints a name along with the password, but the password here is no. So let me check the code in the model class. We have email, name, password. I think we need to stop the server. Clean Tomcat work directory. Review the project. Clean the project. Clean. And start a server. Okay, test again. Go to registration form, and in the registration form we enter information. Name, course.net, password 10345678910, birthday, register, and check. Oh, I don't know what password is. No, and print the username along with the password. Okay, and later we will fix that error. Now let's create the success-based registration success.jsp to print the information to the user. So we can we create a new JSP file here. New JSP file. Enter the name is registration success.jsp. Finish. And change the page title to registration success. And we use a lib section. Align center. And we have a heading to registration succeeded. Let's line in this yeah, the registration succeeded. Paste here. Display the information of the user. User span element, full name, and span element for here we use the STL syntax, EL expression language EL of JSP to display the name of the user objects. You can see in the controller class in the do registration method. Here in the model we have the object user with the name user. So in the view registration success we can still use still access the model object user here. Save the file and let's test refresh. F5. Continue. And you see it prints full name now me. But I don't know why it also prints password of the user where it's changed. So we need to look at the set name. Get name. Don't know why. Now we specify CSS for the registration success page, so it looks better. In the head section, we specify style, text CSS here, and style for the element span, display, inline block, and the width is about 100 pixel, and margin is 5 pixel for all directions, and text alignment is on the left. Okay, and then refresh. And now let's update this page to display information for other fields. Email, password, birth date, profession. Email, password, birth date, profession. This is email, user.email. Password, user.password. And date of birth, birth date, profession, user.profession. Okay, now test again. Go to registration form, and now enter full name, Ravi Kumar, email Ravi Kumar, gmail.com, password Kumar 123, birth date 1989, 05/10, profession is architect, master. We forgot to have a break line here, break line after each line here. Okay, F5, continue, and you see it displays the information of the registered user, full name, email, date of birth, profession. And now let's update the registration form to use checkbox, radio buttons, and text area like this. Registration of the JSP here. Sorry, we have problem here. Password, but should be password. So, okay, my mistake. Refresh and test again, and now it should work correctly. Kuma, Navi Kuma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But master. Okay, it works correctly now. Print full name, email, and password. Very good, right? And in the console view, it print user name Kuma, Ravi Kuma, password. Okay, now let's update this form to display marriage status using a checkbox. So here we use a form label. Path is for married. Married is married or not, and we use a Spring form tag from checkbox with path point to the property, to the field name of the model class married. Break line, and in the success page we display the information of the marriage status. Married user not married. Okay, test. And this is form, and you can see the married field is a checkbox here. And let's update the style sheet to align. Here to align the element. Here input type radio. Display inline block, and specify the margin left is about 190 pixel. Okay, and refresh. Sorry, this should be input type equal checkbox, not radio. Checkbox, and refresh, and you see it should be margin right. Right, and refresh, and we see it looks better, right? Marriage status. Let's test again. One again. But that profession architect master energy, it prints the marriage status true, which is a value of the checkbox. For a checkbox field in the model class, we use a boolean type for the field boolean married here. You see. Now let's update the registration form to display the gender in form of a radio button here, male or female, and then a text area for extra note. So here we specify the form label for gender, and we use a Spring form tag radio button, radio button, path gender value is male, and then the text male. Yes, you can see we do the same, copy paste for the gender female, Okay, that's it. Let's refresh and you will see. Sorry. Refresh the form. You will see the gender with radio button here, male or female. Now let's update the style sheet to make it align with other fields in the form. Here we specify the style for the input type, radio. This time we use Maven left is about 45 pixels. And let's refresh the form, and you will see it looks better, right? Male or female. And the last field is for the note, which uses text area. So we use a form label path note, and for text area we use a Spring Form text area path note, and we specify the attributes for the text area. Number of columns is 25, number of rows is 5. Okay, save, and let's refresh the form. You see we have text area here, break line. Okay, it looks better, nicer, right? Now update the registration success page to display the information about the gender and note. Yeah, gender, user dot gender, and note, user dot note. Okay, and now we test again. Test the form again. Go to the home page and go to registration form and enter the information. Name, mình, email, name, codejava.net, password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, birth date 1984, January 20, married, and I'm male, and channel is I love programming with Java. Okay, and click register, and you can see the registration success page displays my information: full name, email, password, date of birth, profession, marriage, gender. Note here, and in the console view you can see it prints the information of the user here. Very good, right? So far you have learned how to develop a Spring MVC application that handles form submission from the user. You have learned developing an application that presents this form that looks like this with different kinds of fields: text input, password, drop-down list, checkbox, radio button, text area, and the registration success page. And This picture explains how to code form handling with Spring MVC. We have the model class represents the information in the form. In the view, we use just Spring form tags to display, to read, to map the HTML fields with the fields in the model class, and in the Spring MVC control class, we use a model or attribute annotation to map with the model object. I hope you found this video tutorial helpful. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to my channel to get update about Java programming.